Yeah, this doesn't feel right. Hola. How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the channel and a happy Halloween to you. For today's video, I've been tagged by my CP Sunita to do the All Hallows writing challenge. Funny story about that is she actually tagged me in her video for this as I was writing out the script for my video in which I plan to tag her. So she's a bona fide assassin. She ninja assassin me on that one. You can find a link down below to her video in her channel where she covered all this. And so definitely go check that out because she is awesome sauce. Also, go check out the creator of this tag, Sam Cassay. Her link will also be down below. So first up, we have to set down the ground rules for this tag, and there's only two. So the first is to provide a brief description of your work in progress, and the second is that you can only use the same answer 3 times. So without any further ado, let's jump into it. So my work in progress is titled Prince of a Dying Light, and it is a science fantasy novel. So the story takes place in Andromeda, which is a country under tyrannical rule. And the story centers around Era, who is an amnesiac living out in a mountain village off in the country. For years, Era lived out in the country with his adoptive father, and he basically only wanted to, live a peaceful life and repay his father for the kindness he has shown him over the years. But his simple life becomes enveloped in chaos when he gets wrapped up in a resistance movement to liberate the people of Andromeda. Seemingly overnight, Era's simple life becomes overfilled with violence and bloodshed as he is forced to come to grips with his own identity. So, on to the questions. Question 1 is Halloween night. What is your protagonist dressed up as? So before the events of the story, Era is a pretty logical and technical person. He is studying to become an engineer, and his favorite hobbies are taking things apart and putting them back together. For these reasons, Era would most likely dress up as a scientist, maybe even a mad scientist. He'd be wearing a white lab coat, rubber gloves, glasses, you know, that sort of thing. Question 2. Who in your cast refuses to dress up and shows up at the Halloween party without a costume? Hands down, this would be Lyra. Now, Lyra is a no-nonsense kind of character. She's very unapologetic. She's very blunt. She's very straight to the point, very critical. So she would definitely be the one to not dress up at the Halloween party. In all honesty, she probably wouldn't go at all. But if she was to go, she definitely would not be in costume. Question 3. Which character wears the most outrageous costume, and what would it be? The award for the most outrageous costume would definitely go to Vela. Now, Vela is a barkeep in the story, and she runs a popular bar known as the Lucky Star. On the reg, Vela uses her feminine charm to attract men to her bar to spend money, and on a holiday, she would capitalize on that opportunity to do that even more so. Her costume would probably be a sexy witch outfit, one that showed a lot of skin, particularly in her more flattering regions. You know, she would play up her assets, and she would be very sexy. Question 4. On Halloween, werewolves, vampires, and zombies are on the prowl. Which of your characters get caught in their clutches, and which creature would they turn into? This would definitely be Karina. Now, Karina is an elderly woman in the story, but she's one of those elderly women who don't see themselves as elderly. So although she's old in her age, if she was faced with a threat, she wouldn't back down. Like no matter what, she would stand her ground. As for what she would turn into, I guess whatever got to her first. Question 5. Who wins the contest for best costume? This would probably be Leo. Now, Leo is kind of a goofball and a kid at heart. He's definitely the kind of person who would go above and beyond for his costume, and he would go overboard. Given that he runs an orphanage in the story, I'd imagine he'd be dressing up to kind of entertain, the children. So whatever his costume would probably be really kid friendly. I'm thinking maybe a superhero or a clown or something. Not Pennywise clown, but something entertaining for the children. Question 6. Who hands out toothbrushes to the trick-or-treaters? Which should be a crime, by the way. This would most definitely be Virgo in the story. In the story, Virgo is the leader of the resistance movement, and he doesn't have the luxury to play around. He isn't always strictly business, though. He knows how to loosen up sometimes, but even when he does, he's kind of that guy who's like always about safety first. Imagine the mom who boasts at the PTA meetings about throwing the most kick-ass party for their children, and she's mom of the year and all that good stuff, and at the party she's passing out veggie platters and, and stuff like that. That's Virgo. Question 7. Which two of your characters decide to pair up and do an angel/devil costume together? The pair I think would be most likely to do a costume such as this would be Karina and Draco. Now, these two characters have been friends for pretty much their entire life, and they've grown insanely close over the years. From the outside looking in, it probably seems like they're constantly throwing insults at each other, but that's really their way of bantering and showing their appreciation for each other. On the other hand, though, the costume collaboration would not come easy. Not at all. Karina would be the one to initiate the idea, and she would end up hounding Draco until he finally gave in and said, "Fuck it, let's do it." Question 8. Someone is too scared to even attend the Halloween party. Who is it? Now, for this question, I'm afraid I don't really have a good answer that fits this question. I think the closest I can come to would be the character Coma. Now, Coma is a soldier/engineer for the Resistance, and he basically has zero chill. I definitely think he would skip the party, and it wouldn't be because he was, scared to socialize or anything like that. He'd be scared that, everyone could be attacked and vulnerable while, people are having fun and stuff. So he would skip the party to patrol the city and stuff like that. Doesn't quite fit the question, but that's the best thing I can come up with. Question 9. Who overdoses on Halloween candy and ends up sick? This would once again be Leo, on account of him being a big kid and everything. I could definitely see him overindulging on the sweet stuff. However, I will say that he would do it in secret. Being in charge of the orphanage, Leo is seen as a mentor for the children, and although he has a lot of fun, he also is responsible, and he wouldn't post that image or promote that image in front of the children. But when he got alone to his room, that candy is gone, bro. Finally, we have question 10, which is, which character is most likely to place a curse/hex on someone, and who would they curse? Hands down, this would be Dorado, who is the current ruler of Andromeda. And he is a little unbalanced if you catch my drift. Dorado is self-centered and arrogant and can be paranoid at times, so he wouldn't hesitate to curse someone if he could. As for who he would curse, it would really be anyone who got in his way. I mean, anyone who stepped up to challenge him, anyone who pissed him off, uh, anyone who did something he didn't like. No one is safe. There you have it, guys. The All Hallows writing tag. I hope you guys enjoyed watching it because it was loads of fun to do, and I got to dress up as a cowboy in a super wrinkly shirt. If you're interested in doing this tag yourself, then definitely check out the creator of the tag. I've linked it down below. Definitely go check that out. And don't forget to also tag one of your writing buddies and, keep the chain going. I'm going to go ahead and tag author Kim Chance. Now, I don't really know Kim personally, but by watching her YouTube videos and participating in her CP Connect event, I was able to meet my CP, and as I mentioned before, Sunita, you're awesome. So I'm really grateful to Kim for that. So you're it, Kim. As always, if you liked the video, why not leave a like down below? And if you're new, consider subscribing. I post new videos on Monday. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch you in the next one. Hasta luego. Oh, so terrible.